Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire. I'm the owner and creator behind Seal Vintage Finds, and this is Thrifted Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. I hope it's your favorite day of the week. Ranger's here, he's itching. Ranger, you wanna come say hi? Hey, Ranger does want to thank everybody for the comments lately. He's been loving his cookies and thanks you immensely. So I wanted to make sure that happened. I also want to make sure to ask you if you find value in me, if you find value in my channel, if you love my boy Ranger who's on his belly right now, please subscribe, ring that bell, give me a thumbs up, and definitely drop me a comment. I want to know which item is your favorite. I want to hear if there's anything you want to see more of, or you want me to do differently. Drop me a comment and let me know. I have a pretty big haul for you today. I went to a lot of great estate sales over the past weekend, and my friend Frankie brought me some stuff as well. So I'm going to be doing all the things you guys have been telling me that you like. You like seeing the staging photos. And I'm also going to be talking about the items that I'm going to be upcycling, and a lot of these are going to be upcycled items. But there's a few that I was able to get staged for you just to show you. And the theme for today is books, vintage books. There's something that you can get at thrift stores. I got all these at estate sales. Actually, I think a couple came from an auction too. And using books to decorate, using books as risers to add some height, and all of the staging items today I'm going to be using vintage books, some from my collection, some that I thrifted over the weekend. But these are great, coffee table books. Number one, are great on a coffee table so your guests can peruse through them, or pop them in a guest room so when they're going to sleep they have something to check out. You can do lots of things with them. You can cover them with paper to suit your design style. You can leave them as is and choose colors that go with your decor, or whatever you want. I love this beautiful things. A lot of art books. I get a lot of art books. I get a lot of decorating books, that type of thing. So don't forget to check out and grab vintage books when you get a chance. I like really old ones that kind of look beat up. I like them when their covers are falling off, because I'll remove the covers then and just make book stacks for risers. There's just so much you can do with books. So first item that I'm going to show you a staging photo is one that I plan on keeping. I'll tell you a little backstory to it. It's a very ornate frame. I don't know how old this is. I mean, it probably definitely has a little bit of age to it. It is wood. The estate sale that I went to in the historic GE plot, when I went to this, they had it leaning in a window, and I just loved it. And it reminded me of, and if you follow me on Facebook, you'll already know this story. Alana, which is a property in Hudson, New York, that was owned and designed by an artist, Frederick Church. He designed all the windows in that place to be like works of art. So when you looked at them any time of year, you had a gorgeous framed view. And it just made me think, when I saw this in a window, I loved that. I loved it sitting in a window and how it framed out the view. So here's a picture of how I'm styling it in my house, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, let me know what you think, because I'm not sure right now. I just used some little suction cups to hang it on, and I'm just gonna make sure I really like it there before I drill out holes and maybe suspend it from some like fishing wire. But let me know, would you do something like that in your house? I think it's kind of cool and different. I don't know if it maybe breaks up the flow of the window, and so far I'm liking it. And it's funny, my cat Prince, which you can see his little head in the photo, I tried to get him sitting right in it because he's been spending a lot of time just sitting right within the frame and looking out the window. I refer to that window as cat TV. So that's the first item. Now I'm just gonna start going through items. I got this jar, it's an Atlas mason jar. It's full of old buttons. A lot of times when I see these at other estate sales, they're priced at $30 or $40, and I just think that's kind of ridiculous to spend that much for a thing of buttons. But this one I was able to get a decent deal on, and I grabbed it. I have some projects planned with buttons. I want to make little flowers. I may save it for the spring on wires to put in things with vintage buttons. So that's how I plan on upcycling that. This next piece is a very heavy frame. It's just a glass frame, nothing special, but I'll tell you what my plan is with this. I'm thinking I'm gonna do reverse decoupage, no idea what, how, or anything else, on the back so that it will frame out the image with the decoupage on the back. So that's my plan. It's probably not an immediate, maybe if I come up, I don't know what Sonnet's Maker's box is gonna be for November, but it's supposed to be her holiday box. So maybe I'll figure out something, there'll be a paper in there that I can use. I don't know, we'll have to see. Next up, this is another item. I'm gonna try to do this one this week. If you guys follow me on Facebook, then you know I was able to score one of the viral Christmas trees from Walmart. I got the 4.5 foot, but I know a few people that got the 7.5 foot. And I want to I keep a tree up in my room year round. I just like the lights. It makes me happy when I'm going to bed. It brings me joy. I try to surround myself with things. When I look at them around my house, they bring me joy. And so my plan is to paint this. I have a 2-year-old remainder. I told you all the IOD, their Christmas, I'm trying to figure out where to put this. Their Christmas limited edition transfers, they sell out quickly, sometimes days, sometimes hours, sometimes weeks, but they sell out. You can never get them again. And I still have some transfers from that. And I'm gonna this year just put cardinals in my tree. So I'm gonna do a cardinal theme on this bucket. And we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping I can get that done for this week because I'm on a candle making binge and that's taking up a lot of my time. So next up, I wanna show you this little item. I can show you how I styled this. This is Belique. Hopefully you'll be able to see the mark on the bottom. If you go to Belique's website, they have a image of all the marks that they used over the years, and that way you can kind of tell the time frame. And this piece was from between 1965 and 1980. And it is a creamer. It is actually a creamer. So I just threw some greens in it and styled it with some books. So take a look and let me know what you think. All right, what did you think? I mean, those are my books. So I just styled it with, I put some greenery in it and styled it with a few of my vintage books, and I really like it. It's just simple. That can be on a shelf. It could be in a vignette on a table. You could put holiday greens in that and do red and green books. There's so many options for how you can style these vintage items. So next up, I'm just gonna start going through my bags. Okay, you guys know I'm on a dish diet, but I thought this was really sweet. It is, a kind of square. It's Johnson Brothers. It's blue willow. So I really haven't been buying dishes. I've been really good, but this was the last day of the sale. I was able to get a decent deal on it, and people really like it when I do make tiered trays. I haven't been making them. I think the market here is kind of saturated with my tiered trays. In fact, I even pulled the listing off Marketplace, and so you know, it's still a nice medium, or maybe even, or you know, the middle plate I like to be a little bit different. So that's what I had in mind with that I would use it in a tiered tray and as a middle plate on a 3-tiered tray. Okay, next up, I always buy, you know, wood when I can get a good deal on it. These are a little bit beat up, you can kind of see, but I'm thinking I really like the way milk paint looks on wood. And I could tell, I know you guys, some of you probably aren't like, don't paint them. They don't sell. I've had tons of wood bowls in my booth, online, and when they're plain wood, they don't seem to sell. With milk paint on wood like this, I'll sand it first. You don't get any chipping or crazing usually. It just blends into the wood, and it beautifully gives you a beautiful finish. So I'm contemplating maybe doing some like holiday themed, you know, wood bowls. I don't know. We'll see. Again, that wouldn't be top on my list. I love these little, probably aluminum, you know, measuring cups. But what I was thinking is these would be cute with little transfers on them to either hang on a tree, or this one might be a little bit too big, but these two littler ones, that's my thought, like transfers and, you know, hangers and, you know, for ornaments. So, but I don't know. But that's my first thought. Got some candles. They're nice candles, so I just grabbed them. They actually came in some brass candlesticks, which I'll show you in a second. This, my friend Frankie was with me when we went to an estate sale, and I grabbed this. It's iridescent. Hopefully you can see that. And we thought this would be good for my flowers. I took the flower listing off my page too, just because, you know, it's past garden season, and I think, you know, I'll relist them again next year, you know, when it's more appropriate. Okay, this wood bowl came from the property in the GE plot. It definitely needs to be cleaned. They just have it as vintage segmented wood bowl. I paid up for this a bit. I think it's gorgeous. But what I really liked is it's signed on the bottom. I don't know if it's an artist signed piece. It's 2008, so it's not vintage. But what I liked is that they put elm, they carved into the wood elm, walnut, and white oak. And so I know I can breathe some new life into this and get it looking beautiful again with my walrus oil. So I'll probably give it a light sanding, a deep cleaning first, because it just feels like it needs it. And then walrus oil it. And remember, if you have wood bowls, you know, they're not one and done. Even if they're just sitting around, the oil does absorb in, and they should be re-oiled. Another thing to tell you, sometimes when you oil them, if they haven't been oiled or properly taken care of, it'll split the wood. So just fair warning that could happen. Okay, I grabbed these. This is what I saw in the photo of the, you know, when I was looking at estate sales photos, I saw these brass candlesticks and I knew that I wanted them. I think there's a set of 5. They're all different sizes. They're not exact matches. So you can kind of see, here's these 2. I have some smaller brass candlesticks down in my inventory that I never got out for last year, but these I just think are so pretty. And I like them for the season. They need a nice cleaning. And you know, I tend to do all natural cleaning. And then this one, it's like for a thicker candle. They had this on it, I think. This one. So also too big for it. But we might be able to figure something out for that. I think I have these things that can clip in and hold candles. I don't know if I can find them, but anyway, love them. And then Frankie brought me a different candlestick, a brass one with a brass snuffer. So definitely gonna get those all cleaned up and ready to go. Last but not least, in this bag, I always grab these kitchen utensils if I find them, if they have nice wood handles. I use them for little, you know, I make up different things. And, you know, I like to have some kitchen tools in them for little kitchen pieces. You know, like, I don't want to say it's not vignette, but I'll use like a sifter and have some florals and have some kitchen tools in there. So that's that. Let's see how we're doing on time. I don't want to go over. Oh, perfect. Okay, so next up for a staged piece, I wanted to spread them out. Is this, you know, I love this. This is Fenton. It's Silvercrest. You can see it's got the clear around the outside. It is, you know, Fenton art glass. It's a footed, candle bowl. And I love this. This is the pattern that I keep. Here's the thing. I personally feel milk glass is year round. It's how you stage it. Like for right now, you know, Halloween's coming up. I may throw some candy in it or just some little pumpkins, just some bowl filler. And then come Christmas, pine cones, or, you know, so seasonal stuff. I tend to decorate more seasonally. So pine cones, but maybe some little mini ornaments or something like that, whatever. And then obviously each season you can change up what it has in it, or you don't have to put anything in it. You can just have it set out. And that's what I did for this staging photo, but it's with books because they're all with books. Now, that's actually, if you walk in my front door, my house is 110 years old. I have the old radiators, you know, it is water-based system. And I have a slab of bluestone on top of my radiator so I can use it as a shelf. And those books sit there year round. They're hymnal books. I like to use those pages. They're all falling out. That's why I got them. But another point that I want to make for this staging photo is if you don't like the way the books look, you don't have to have them facing so that the binding is out. You can flip them and have the pages out. It just adds some depth and some interest. And the other thing you want to do on bookshelves is have the books go, you know, some upright, some laying down. You want them to be all different to add interest and height to your bookshelves, to make them look better, to make them look, if you go to Pinterest and ask and see photos of bookshelves, see how the designers did them. And that's kind of what you want to emulate. If you just have them all kind of like little soldiers on a shelf, which, trust me, I've always had a tendency to do, it just, your eye doesn't know where to go. It's not pleasing to the eye. You want to have it pleasing to the eye. So take a look at this photo and let me know what you think. All right, so you can see my books. I've got some really cool, like I said, those are hymnals. I just keep them there. They're close to my studio area. They're not all hymnals, but most of them are. But the books that I have the pages out, I can't think of what it's called right now, with the pages, you know, they're just, you know, kind of, you know, not a flat surface. I love books like that. Whenever I see them, I grab them. And I love that little shelf. Mariah Carey, my Siamese cat, she loves to hang out there in the winter on the heat, so I always have to have space for her there. I kind of changed up the way it's set up just for that image, but that's what I did. Let me know what you think. All right, I have another bag of goodies, so let's get to it. Oh, and some of these I have some really good projects planned for it. Specifically, this one, it came from Frankie. I just love the shape of this little coffee or teapot. It has the lid, but it's no longer attached. Not a problem. You know, that it's definitely not a problem. You know, I mean, that I love things like that. You could use this as a vase, but my plan is one of the IOD products or transfer books from this year is called like Kitschy Christmas. And I'm thinking I'm gonna paint, leave the handles, the feet, the spout, and even the top, I'll, you know, give it a good cleaning. I'm gonna paint this a light pink, and that book is just so cute. It's got all these super vintagey, you know, more like mid-century type, you know, holiday images. And I think there's a little angel. I don't know, the angels might be too big, so I'm gonna find an image from that. I'm thinking with a pink background. I don't know, this might be on this week's projects, so stay tuned and see what I do. I was really thinking one of the angels, but I think they're too big, so I'm gonna have to find another image, but I want it to be super kitschy. So that's the plan on that. Let's see what else we got. Oh, these were just, I've been grabbing frames because people have seemed to really like them. And, you know, this one's just a, you know, it's gold, but, you know, who knows if it'll stay that way. I like frames where there's some details. So if I do paint them, you know, I can really work with the details. I like this frame as is, so that's that. And then this frame, somebody definitely used it. This is what I do with frames like this. I'll throw wire in between them just so that they're easier to hang. Oh, I know, these both came from the same estate sale. So I'm not a lover of that image, but I think we can give this frame a makeover and do something really cool with it. So that's my plan on that. I'm checking time again. Okay, we're only gonna go a couple more minutes. Oh, I wanted to show you this. I don't really think this needs anything. It's a little turkey, perfect for, you know, your holiday vignettes or tables for Thanksgiving. So that's that. I just wanted to show you that. Remember, all this stuff is for sale, so if you see something you like and you either want it made over or not made over, you can definitely let me know. Here's some little, these are, you know, probably like, you know, votive size, for lack of a better word. Milk glass. I was kind of thinking these would be fun for candles. I was contemplating grabbing out a bunch of my milk plate or milk glass and filling it with candles for the season. So that's probably what I'll do with these. I like twofers. I like when, you know, you're buying one item, especially if it's a gift, and, you know, getting a candle, plus you get the little milk glass piece to keep afterwards. And I think I'm gonna stop there with items. I'll show you the rest of these next week. And I wanna show you this last item that I staged. So, you guys know I love glass. I love art glass. I love Fenton, you know, milk glass. I love it. I just love it. But I can't really have it in my house with dogs and cats, and specifically cats. You know how they like to knock things off of things and watch them crash. So I don't really have a lot of glass in my house unless it's someplace where I think the cats won't get it. Trust me, they're good at finding a way. So this is going to be for sale. This came from the estate sale in the GE plot. They had it labeled as Murano, and I asked them about it. I'm like, how do you know which? To me, it has all the telltale signs, and I'm going to show you what to look for, that it is Murano, but I'll probably still sell it as Murano style. They told me, I asked, they told me that they had an appraiser come, and that the appraiser told them that it's Murano. But like I said, I don't know who that appraiser was, and I don't know all the deals behind it. So like I said, I'll probably just sell it as Murano style, because I tried to search everywhere for a similar Murano piece and couldn't find it. That may mean it's very rare. I don't know. I thought it was signed. I thought I saw a signature on there, but I got my loop out and I could not, with my loop, I couldn't really find it. It might just be tiny scratches. I don't know. It may be signed, it may not. It has a Pontil mark, which a lot of times with a Murano, you will still see some evidence of the Pontil mark. They generally sand the bottom and have a very clear finish. That is definitely a way that you can delineate Murano pieces. It'll look clear like that. There won't be any cloudiness to it. If it has cloudiness, it may not be a Murano piece. And just so you know, even Murano experts sometimes have a difficult time figuring out whether something is or isn't Murano. So those are some of the things you can look for. Clearly there's the punt mark, or punt mark they'll call it. And the other thing is Murano pieces have, like this piece, gorgeous colors. If they're muted or dulled down, it's probably not Murano. They're going to be vibrant like this. So I think this very well could be Murano. I was assured it was Murano. I am going to probably list this, and then this will probably go out into the carriage house, into my glass cabinet. I think it'll be beautiful there. But in the meantime, I styled it with some books for you. So let's take a look. All right, what did you think? Again, I had a house in Vegas that was more modern. This house is 110 years old. I don't have as many modern pieces, so I don't have a lot of stuff to stage it with. So I just found some colorful books to bring out the colors in the piece. And I love glass in windows. That was the other thing. I had a bunch of high windows in my Vegas house. I had very high ceilings, and I had glass in all my windows. So that's probably how I would stage it. I couldn't get any good photos of it. I tried to stage it within my new frame. It just didn't look good. I don't have a great camera for that right now. So, to get it backlit properly. I really appreciate you watching and commenting and all the things. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, enjoy.